Hey everybody, this is Marian Cowagowan.
And this is David Owen.
And this is You Show Me Yours presents Degrassi Rewatch, Season 1, Episode 3, The Experiment. Which makes it sound all nice and scientific, but it's really not.
Yes.
Except for where someone has to teach what the word replicate means.
Right.
More and more, I do not know how Arthur and Stephanie grew up in the same house.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, so we're talking about the Canadian teen favorite, Degrassi Junior High, that we are rewatching from the beginning. We both watched it as teens, Dave in health class, me on PBS. And we are seeing some of these things somewhat differently now as adults. So this episode, our sort of characters from the ensemble are Arthur and Yick in our main plot, and Mr. Radich. The teachers have been like really in the background, but this is the first one where a teacher is a main role. And then our B plot is Melanie and Kathleen, who haven't really featured before. They've been in the background, but
this show is good about having the background actors, always having the full cast. Like if you do the full cast of the show, it's like 20 people or something.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And having them constantly around in the back. So you've seen them in the background.
Yes.
But they get their feature this week.
Yes. And they prove themselves to be very much like me at this age. Big dorks. But not a Vula kind of dork, just dorks. But we'll get to that in a second. And Joey and Stephanie come in a little bit. Really, I feel like Stephanie features in almost all the episodes of this first season, and at some point she disappears. But a lot of Stephanie for right now. No Vula, no Lucy. I saw the twins, but they don't really do anything.
I think we see Lucy for like a split second.
Yeah, I think
I recall.
We saw Wheels briefly, but it really the show really does do a pretty good job with ensembles.
Yeah, Wheels just back in his role of snickering henchman to Joey. If this were a show where I thought they valued writing and character development, I would say this is very uneven and they need to have another go at the character wheels. But I think for right now, he's just whatever they need him to be. In the first episode, he is the Stephanie without a bikini.
Yeah.
With sleeveless jean jacket vest.
Yes.
And then in the next episode, he is sensitive crush boy with corduroy pants and a
Green Bay
shirt. Sports team shirt, and now he's back to yes man flunky.
And this episode, he had the sleeveless jean jacket.
Yeah, back on the jean jacket.
Maybe that's the thing.
Yeah, he's got his trash boy jacket. When you see him, he's trashy Wheels in the jean jacket, and when he's not in the jean jacket, he's sensitive.
Well, that explains it. That explains it. Why I know. No, I take it back. I did have a sleeveless jean jacket. Anyway, it doesn't work on American girls, just Canadian boys.
Yes.
Anyway, so the Arthur and Yick plot. So the more I watch this, the more I just adore Arthur. He's such a dork, but in a 12-year-old way. And you're like, you are going to grow up and grow, about another foot and put on some muscle and figure out life and get a better haircut. And you're going to be smart and your life's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Junior high is not, because junior high sucks. Anyone who has a really good time in junior high, don't be envious of where their life's going. So the more I watch Arthur, the more I like him.
Arthur's also written like an adult.
Yeah, that's true.
He's like the one that's like, well, this would be cheating.
That's true. That's true.
So that's part of it too, is like in a sea of immature characters who are mainly only there to be the id, to start the lesson for the episode. Arthur's always the one going, well, actually. That's
true. And he has the words of wisdom speech at the end. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. So maybe that's why I like him, because I recognize the adult in him.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember liking him this much when I was
because he was a drag. When you were a kid watching this show, you were like, yeah, Yick is getting discriminated against.
Well, okay. So let's talk about that. So
So Arthur and Yick are in Mr. Radich's English class, and Yick is your classic disorganized person, as in he has a pile of papers in his backpack. Right. I mean, it's like when you see a French person walking home from the grocery store with a baguette sticking out of the top. It's like that.
It's just, like there are papers sticking out of the top of his Trapper Keeper.
Yes, and there's never anything like, oh, I have this paper. It's just he's got papers. Clearly, he's disorganized. We know everything about him from the papers that are there. And he doesn't do well on the papers that he writes and turns in. And Mr. Radich is doing this classic 80s thing of yelling at kids about their learning differences and their neurodiversity in front of everybody and telling everybody their grades. And, like watching this as a parent now, I'm like, oh my God, if one of our kids' teachers did that to him, I would be pissed. If any teacher did that to any kid that I know, like it's not even about my kid. It's just, that's not how you do it. And so Yick is complaining to Arthur that Radich doesn't like him and it's discriminating and it's just, anything that I turn in, he's going to give a bad grade.
Yeah.
The words discriminating and then stereotypes shows up later makes you think that we are saying Radich is racist.
Right.
But this never plays out.
Because Asian, of course.
Right. This never plays out. And it's just, I think later there's something about, I know this guy who's really good at basketball and he's good at sports and you think he's dumb, but he's not. If he's stereotyping, it's because Yick is athletic.
Yeah. Well, Canada at this in the 80s and 90s was a post-racial world. So it didn't matter.
Yeah. Yes. As we all know that happens
Yes. Although I will say, I'm actually pretty glad that the slap together Canadian melodrama for teens didn't decide to tackle actual ins and outs of racism as opposed to just simple discrimination.
Well, yes. I mean, and I think they do later. There's some plots where there's explicitly racial or ethnic discrimination. But yes, this is a little early to tackle the big gut. Like you need to do it a little more skillfully.
Yeah.
And I think Yick actually does deal with some background stuff. I don't remember. But
build up to that.
Yes.
Writers, please.
Yes. Take a workshop.
Yeah.
Try out a couple things before you commit.
Yeah. But
calling it discrimination is, I mean, I think what you're dealing with, Yick, is Radich doesn't like you because you suck in his class because you're messy and it looks like you don't really try very hard. And so he doesn't like you, and that is reflected in the grading. Is that bad? Yes, but that's not capital D discrimination.
Well, that's you're taking the Radich view of it. The Yick view of it is he can't do anything right, and Mr. Radich has decided that for various reasons.
Well,
because the premise of this
chicken egg.
The premise of this experiment is that he will give him a bad grade if he just sees his name on the paper. That he won't read it. That Yick is frustrated because it doesn't matter how much he puts into the paper and how good it is. When he sees his name, he will, and that's the whole crux. So, like the reality is what you're saying, but what our character thinks is that he is trapped behind this.
I get it. I get it. But like,
I'm just saying, what you're saying is what he has to learn.
Yes. Like most 12-year-olds, he is not doing any self-analysis.
Oh, yeah.
And not figuring out if he has any responsibility in this. Shocker.
Yeah. Which was the lesson to us in health class.
Yes.
Like, hey, sometimes if you suck, the teacher doesn't hate you. You just suck.
You just suck. I'm sure it was delivered exactly like that.
Oh, yeah.
So the plan that Arthur and Yick come up with is they take one of Stephanie's old papers from the same class last year, and Yick turns it in his own handwriting.
Yeah.
And the test, the hypothesis is if Radich really dislikes Yick on site, then this will get a bad grade.
Yes.
Stephanie's paper got to be B+, and so we've established it should get a B+. If it gets lower, it's because he hates Yick. Well, it actually gets higher. It gets an A-.
Yeah.
So then, and Yick is like, well, now I got to keep doing this. I can't, I need more of Stephanie's paper.
Which can we establish is the difference between a B+ and A- is like 2 points.
Yes.
It's like an 89 versus a 91 or something, like whatever, like whatever the grade, the A minus B plus, like that is a gray area of about 4 points.
Well, yeah.
And as Mr. Radich points out later, a subjective class.
Yes. This is I didn't have enough coffee that day, or yours was at the top of the pile and I was feeling cheerful.
Yes, he did. It in early.
Yes, he did, which I thought was a tactical error. Like that's going to arouse suspicion.
Yes.
Don't do that. But so they get another of Stephanie's papers and turn it in. And this time Radich says, "This is a great paper. I liked it better last year when Stephanie turned it in."
Yes.
Like, yeah, don't. This was a bad idea.
Yeah.
So then they have this fight, like in class, where they're accusing him of, "Well, you graded my paper got a different grade than Stephanie's, and so that proves that you're biased or something." And and that's when Radich is like, literature is subjective. Yes. And he is on the back foot with these kids. Doesn't help that Melanie and Kathleen are in the corner giggling for reasons we'll get into in a second. Yes. He does not come off this looking very, very good.
Right.
But he says, "Arthur and Yick, you need to stay for detention and write a paper on why you did this." And then, of course, what Yick eventually writes is not about why he did this, but okay. And Yick writes about stereotypes and how you shouldn't stereotype people. And Radich says, "How about I try a little harder and you try a little harder and we'll just have a blank slate."
Yeah. Well, you're leaving out the I think most important thing, though.
Arthur's speech. Yeah.
No. Not Arthur's speech.
Okay.
I think the most important thing is that the entire time he has been calling Yick disorganized. What is he? What is it?
Mr. U the disorganized.
Mr. U the disorganized. And the closing line of Yick's paper is that it hurts his feelings when people call his names and makes it essentially harder for him to try. So I think that's the crux of the episode, because when Mr. Radich is calling him that from the very beginning, I immediately clocked that as like, that's not helpful.
Well, that's what I mean when I say this is the classic 80s teacher thing, because I feel like I had classmates who had various things going on and the teachers were not kind about calling it out. And now you would never do that.
But I think that's the reason that Radich realizes maybe I wasn't being biased against this kid, but I was impeding his ability to put in a maximum effort. So I'm going to try harder. You're going to try harder. I'm not going to call you that name anymore. And we're going to have a happy day. But yes, Arthur's speech is the thing that turns Yick.
Yes.
The final line in Yick's paper is the thing that turns Radich.
Yes. Yeah. So a background to all this, Arthur's been trying out for the basketball team, and so has Yick. And Arthur is not good at basketball at all.
It's like he's never touched a basketball.
Yeah. Which is always, kids love a sport and they try out and you watch them and you're like, you like watching this on television.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever touched this ball?
Right.
Or, and he shoots hoops just like I would, which is to say not well at all. Yick is great. And like, I could tell watching him, I was like, because he's doing it like, it's almost like the granny thing from like between your legs and you do,
he's got his hand on either side of the ball on the east and west poles of the ball, and he just pushes it out from his chest.
Yeah, it's not good.
Which is sort of the instinctual way you would grab a ball, but offers you far less control than you would imagine at where the ball actually goes.
Yeah. So, but because they're friends, Yick says, "Hey, Arthur says, 'Hey, will you coach me?'" And Yick automatically is like, "Yes, obviously we're friends." And they do, and Arthur improves just a little bit, just a tiny bit,
right?
And Yick is all mad at Arthur for sort of spilling beans and, you got me into the situation, blah, 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 while they're writing their papers. And Arthur is sort of fed up. And then, yes, as the adult voice of things, he says, "Well, hey, listen, at least I try in basketball. You're not even trying."
Yeah.
Which I think is true. But here's the thing that I notice with this. No one ever says, here's how you try. Here's how you do these things. Here's how you write a paper. Because like I look at Yick, and it is possibly our own parenting experience that makes me say this, but this kid's got some level of neurodiversity, a learning difference, or ADD, or something. Like that level of disorganization does not just happen. So you need some sort of breakdown. Okay, so this is how you do this. This is how you break down your ideas. This is how you structure the, Now, have they been doing this in class already? Probably.
Right.
But some kids need that lesson 20 more times.
I agree 100%. but I don't think that that's what you would write into this.
No.
So like, yeah, like
no, but I think saying you try harder is, what does that even mean?
Sure.
What does that look like?
Sure. I get what you're saying,
but
also
it's a 30-minute show.
Yeah, but also I think that Yick probably does know what it means to try harder, because that's the secret of like growing up as a kid with ADD. I had a lot of problems, but at a certain point, I kind of gave up and I used those problems as an excuse, not to try.
Yeah,
I could predict the outcome before it happened, so I used it as an excuse not to even try. And I think that that's the place that Yick is in this class, in part because he is being called disorganized.
Yes.
So it is. I think that's why it is a good. It's good that both sides kind of admit fault to some degree, and both of them agree to correct their behavior with a hearty handshake.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. So.
We'll see.
Yeah. One other thing in this, we see that Arthur does get to go to his mom's house.
Yes.
And he can even be there at the same time as Stephanie.
I know.
Which we didn't know if that was true.
Stephanie, who apparently isn't allowed to wear scarves or paint her fingernails.
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, she's in her room looking at the scarves that she keeps in her backpack to take to school, and there's a knock on the door and she hurriedly hides them.
Yeah. Same thing when she's painting her toenails. She puts her foot down on the other side of the bed. And then when it's Arthur, she's like, oh, and she just starts painting her toenails.
Yeah, I don't.
But also, like Arthur, and perhaps his most spineful moment that we've seen is like straight up when Stephanie refuses to give him a second paper, is straight up like, oh, maybe I just let it slip to Mom that you put on makeup at school, and she's like, you're blackmailing me. He's like,
yeah,
I am,
yeah.
This is welcome to the new Arthur.
Yep. Yep.
I have this giant thing that I'm going to hold over your head, and I hope that he does continue to. I don't remember if he does or not.
I mean,
but that'd be great.
You should, really. She's so insulting to him all the time. Oh, yeah. She's like, don't tell anyone you're my brother.
Right, yeah.
Ma'am, you were saying this in the middle of the school hallway.
Right. Maybe I just leave one of our Christmas photos out in the lunchroom. If you don't do whatever, whatever.
Yeah, like she's so mean to him. So she deserves a little bit of what she gets. But Arthur, I would not say he's having a glow up, but he has gotten a better haircut.
Yeah, he's a little better.
He's worn a polo shirt a couple times, not the big baggy t-shirt. He is still, when he wears a t-shirt, having the pencil clipped on the crew neck, which is not great.
He's got the yellow. What is that brand? Pencil Mate or whatever, the yellow, the one that you turn the top and the mechanical pencil ink. It looks like that. So much respect. They've changed that.
Yeah.
The yellow of that. Adam Savage has a great quest to find a new go-to pencil, because those things are cheap and disposable, and at a certain point, they're 0.7 lead, which is really common, and he's making all this case for like why it's his go-to shop pencil, and then they change it. They change the color, they change the the way that it functions, and he's got to find a new one, and it's this whole quest. Has to go on. Yeah, so like that pencil, very iconic, very iconic. I don't like them.
The lead breaks too easily.
It does. But when you're marking a lot of materials, a lot of soft materials and stuff, it doesn't dig in because it's 0.7 and it's kind of soft.
Sure.
So it has its advantages, but it was never for me. I always went for. I wish I could remember the specific pencil, but all throughout middle school and high school, I used the exact same mechanical pencil. Probably had to rebuy it like 10 times.
I liked the one, and this is terrible environmentally, but where they were these little nuggets of pencil, and you just fed them in the bottom. But if you lost, and then once they were empty, you still fed them in, and they kept. But if you lost one, the whole whole pencil
it was dependent on
having that
stack.
many. Yeah.
And if you lost one, you couldn't get the next one to seat.
But I did like those because that was a harder lead, and so you never had the problem with it. Anyway, this has been Writing Instrument Minute.
Right. Speaking of harder lead, I don't know what that means. Our B plot for this episode is Melanie and Kathleen.
Yeah. Melanie is the one with the cute brown bob and bangs and wears a lot of headbands. And Kathleen has the blonde hair, like shoulder length.
Yeah.
She later turns out to be a horrible person,
Sweet.
if I recall correctly. But I liked Melanie most of the time.
Can't wait. Yeah. They're talking about. We catch them in the hall talking about about junior high not being as cool as they thought it would be because Melanie was told by her mom that there would just be drugs. There'll be drugs and parties
everywhere.
And what will the parties have?
Potato chips.
Potato chips.
I keep coming back to that and dying. Like, are potato chips the forbidden fruit?
Maybe in Canada
of elementary school. Yeah. I don't know. Were they all dressed? Was that
probably
we
that
saved
was
that for the grown-ups? I don't get it.
That was what it was.
Yeah. Which, I sort of get the whole idea of like, I thought this was going to be a little more dangerous feeling, right? Because whenever you move up to the next level in anything, when you start, middle school, junior high school, college, like all the grown-ups are like, beware of this and beware of this and beware of this. And then you get there and you're like, this is not what I was told.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
Yeah. My experience never got as like, I was a weird, like it depended on who you asked. I was either a nerd, a computer geek, a heavy metal devil worshiper. Like every individual person had a different version of me.
Yeah.
But none of those versions were like, let's invite this guy to all the beer parties and all the cool stuff we do. So yeah, high school was not, there was no, I did hang out with the stoners. I did have to refuse pot quite a bit because I had made the personal decision after seeing many of the people in my family go down the horrible road of drugs that I would not even start down that road, especially not at such an early age. So, and once everybody kind of knew I was sort of straight edge, so to speak, without meaning to be, they stopped asking. But there was a good year there where it was like, hey, we're going into the woods behind the school to smoke pot. Do you want to come with me? Like, come with us? Like, well, I'll come with you, but I'm not going to do that, or like someone would come back in and be like, oh, I left the joint burning for you in the bathroom. Like, okay, but just go to the next person.
Yeah. So this is a thing that still happens. People doing various pot versions in the bathrooms at school because our kid comes home and says, people are vaping cannabis in the bathroom and it smells terrible. Why would you do something at school that has a distinctive odor?
Such a distinctive.
It's just so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, put vodka in your water bottle, fine. It's also stupid, but fine.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Take an edible, a gummy or something. Sure. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. But you know what doesn't have a distinct smell?
New Zealand zappers.
Yeah. While they're having this discussion about how uncool junior high is and how not filled with drugs it is, Joey Jeremiah and Joey F. Jeremiah.
F for pharmacy.
Says. Are at the Peach Pit, the soda, whatever the soda shop is here, the local soda shop, and Wheels and Joey are at the next table. They overhear. And Joey, at your service, and he sets up a drug buy the next day, in the stairwell.
Yeah,
and he sells them New Zealand zappers for $5 a pop, which is a lot for a zapper.
I can't do the conversion between the time and the currency,
Canadian.
But let's say $20.
That's pretty crazy.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So, and the Melanie and Kathleen get their drugs, and Joey demonstrates. He takes one, and
instantly,
oh, cool, man, just right away. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's the colors. As he stumbles away up the stairs, and so they take theirs, and they are
instantly
not feeling anything at first, and then one of them is like, I think it's Melanie, is like, wait, yeah, I do feel something. Oh yeah, that's so cool. And then Kathleen is like, oh yeah, me too.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And here they go for the rest of the day, snickering and laughing, and they are a distraction in Mr. Radich's class, laughing and cutting up, and he's having to tell them to be quiet.
And I imagine their supposed high lasts way longer than an actual high would from anything. And they are, I don't think they know what they're taking, but I suspect that the way they are acting is not the way you would act if you were actually, I mean, like, it's, whatever.
Well, they're acting not unlike the way that Joey acted when he demonstrated what the high was supposed to be like.
Pretty much.
And Wheels is a little bit worried about this. He's like, oh, Joey, I don't know, selling drugs, man. He's like, like Joey's like, it ain't drugs, man, it's vitamins, and he pulls out the vitamin bottle and he's like, hey, teaching these kids a lesson, saving them from a life on the streets or whatever.
I don't know if he actually is. I feel like this could be sort of a gateway, but okay, it's
because now they're like, oh, I want to know what I should have really felt like on the New Zealand Zappers.
We don't have time for a whole seminar on the ethics of drug stand-ins in a 30-minute show, but so the more like, I think you're supposed to find Joey kind of slimy.
Yes.
And of course, now watching this, I can't even find him cute because I'm like, you are 12, but you look like you're 9.
Yeah.
Like you think you're hot stuff. You are not. So I'm just grossed out by the whole thing, even though when I watched this originally, I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. No, he's not cute. But I admire his resourcefulness and his quick thinking.
Sure, yeah.
Because he's got all these names, he's like, oh, what do you want? Do you want the Malibu poppers, the blah, 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 blah. It's got the whole thing. And I'm just like, I couldn't come up with that kind of stuff.
Although I think anybody could come up with Degrassi grass. That's true. That's true. That was pretty lame.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah. So the next day in the library, he's in the library. I don't know. Like it looks like he's looking at like graphic novels or something. So that makes sense. Yeah. He gets cornered by Melanie and Kathleen and a couple of others
friends,
and
including a girl who's in a wheelchair because drug addiction doesn't care about disability.
Doesn't care about any of that stuff. And he thinks he's cornered and he's ready to come clean. And they're like, we want more. And we brought other people. And he's like, all right, tomorrow in the stairwell at same drug place, same drug time. And so the next day they all buy it, including the girl in the wheelchair who they forced to come into the stairwell. And nobody cracks a joke about, hey, I bet this doesn't look familiar. You probably haven't been in here before.
Well, there's a door at the bottom. When they
there
shoot
is,
it
but
for
still,
the other
she would
angle,
have no reason to be in the stairwell.
Yes.
She's riding an elevator.
That's true. Yeah.
But and then they also all take their vitamin pill, New Zealand Zapper, and they all get high in Mr. Radich's class and Disturbed class. And then, yes, during that intense scuffle between Yick and Mr. Radich, they are snickering the whole time, and he's like, shut up, be quiet.
I mean, they're doing this uproarious giggling. I'm like, dude, it's not what you're seeing is not funny. Like I don't understand. Yeah.
And at the after all their trials and tribulations, they just end up overhearing Joey admitting to Stephanie, who comes in as a concerned friend. This was after all the man who was partially responsible for getting her elected president. Comes in with a concern, like, I hear you're selling drugs.
And
he's like,
terrible.
I'm not selling drugs. What are you talking about? I'm not crazy. I'm just taking advantage of these grade 7ers. Like, what are you talking about? And so happens Melanie and Kathleen are behind him. They overhear him, and so they know the jig is up when they actually do confront him. And by then, he has spent all their money on his
a new Hawaiian shirt,
sweet clothes, apparently pants as well, Hawaiian shirt and matching pants. And they chase him down, including the girl in the wheelchair.
She's got some speed. I was impressed.
She does. Yeah, it turns on a dime and gets right after him. Which leads us to our sort of our final moment of the show, where you almost always get a freeze frame.
Yes.
It's not always the characters on screen. I think last episode it was just like a dark street or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of good freeze frames on the face of a character, concerned face on someone walking away, or in this case,
it's a very 80s sitcom
throwing a basketball up in the air.
Yeah.
Where we see after Mr. Radich has read out Yick's paper, and they are,
without naming him, by the way.
Yes,
I thought that was some class.
I mean, I think it was probably pretty obvious, but at the end of the day, Yick and Arthur make up and they agree to sort of help each other be better versions of themselves. And they hear rattling coming from the janitor's closet, familiar to them as they were once each locked in there by Joey. They open it up, and here's Joey in his tidy whities.
Still with his fedora,
quickly putting his fedora over his bits and pieces. And they both, he's like, drug gang stole my clothes. And they both kind of look at each other and, and then slam the door and lock Joey in and walk away and basketball in the air. So, get the bullies get what they deserve.
Yeah.
Get what they deserve. But yeah, that is The Experiment, season 1, episode 3.
Yes.
Pretty much in its entirety.
This fits. We don't have time to discuss the entire DARE program.
Right.
But this fits very well with the DARE approach to drugs,
Yeah.
which is just people will force drugs on you and you should say no all the time. And blah,
yeah,
blah,
this
blah,
is
blah.
up there with the thing we were talking about where every possible thing you could grab with your hand in the 80s had a secret needle with AIDS on it.
Yes.
It was the same way. They were like, if someone offers you a drink, don't even take the drink. The glass might have LSD on it. Don't. Someone offers you a pencil in school. The pencil might have drugs.
Don't put the lead to your arm.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah,
don't chew on the eraser. The eraser is secret drugs.
We were watching something set in the 90s, and someone's at a payphone, and somebody goes by and sticks their finger in the coin return to see if there's and people told me, don't put your finger in there. Someone put a needle with AIDS on it to get you infected, and you're like, why? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, there was also the idea was like there were these, because I think there were a couple of cases of like scornful people who were given AIDS.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to them, who then infected others on purpose.
It was mostly like they would have sex with people without telling them their status,
right,
I think.
Right.
Yeah.
That
Nobody
sort of
was doing
so
the
there
needles.
became this thing of like, at the gas station, you got to check. Don't just grab the handle of the gas pump. You got to check in there because I heard from a guy who heard from a guy that there was a needle in there and it had AIDS in it.
Mm-hmm. My dentist's brother's cousin's former roommate.
What do you mean it had AIDS in it? What does that even mean? Like it had blood. Like this stuff doesn't last in the air. Like there's a reason that you needed intravenous contact with body fluids, because like AIDS does not live outside of the body very long or very well.
It's similar to, we were talking earlier about people are so afraid of getting germs from a toilet seat.
Yeah.
Like, Anyway, the whole DARE approach to drugs and like scaring people away from them ever is, But I remember
the first one's free.
Yeah, right.
They get you.
I remember feeling very similar to Melanie, where she's like, well, I thought that'd be drugs. I would just like to take it just once, just to see,
I just like to try a drug.
Kind of, yeah. But I remember feeling sort of like that. Like, I'm open to it in theory. I don't want to get addicted or anything.
Right. I just want to shoot up heroin once.
Yes. And I think, and they do, like some of them, they're like, you do not have a choice about getting addicted. Like this is, you can't, but
there are certain drugs.
Yes. But I remember feeling kind of like that. And I didn't really take.
Yeah.
No one has offered me anything ever except for pot. And I find that sort of underwhelming and, whatever.
Yeah.
But so that feels very familiar to me, Melanie's whole point of view on the thing. But we could do many, many episodes on DARE and how it just felt silly, even at the time.
The silliest part of DARE was when they made us all sing Wind Beneath My Wings.
Oh my God.
Did they make you sing Wind Beneath My Wings?
Not for DARE.
Oh, they did for DARE.
But for 8th grade graduation.
No, we did it for DARE.
Why for DARE?
I don't know. But I think they ran out of ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, what's the moral of the story?
Anyway, drugs bad.
Drugs are bad.
Stereotypes bad.
Stereotype.
And I wrote in my notes, but there's no such thing as learning disabilities or neurodivergence.
Yes. Well, this was in a pre.
Yes. Oh, I know.
At this point, we had ADD, maybe, hyperactivity kind of stuff.
But not inattentive, which is what you would be. Yeah.
We don't have this sort of So it was just you need to try harder.
Yeah.
You're not trying hard enough.
Apply yourself.
Yeah, apply yourself.
Just fold in the cheese, as Schitt's Creek taught us. Like, what does that mean? I don't know. Just fold it in. Yeah.
Exactly. So. And also bullies if you get a chance to bully a bully.
Is totally fine.
Bully a bully.
Is totally fine. Yeah. Although, I'm not going to say that he didn't deserve it. So
yeah, no, I mean, he's 100%.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, so the next episode, let's see. Here we go. Okay, I'm all going to read the whole description of this again because it's just Joey is offered a new jacket by Rick Monroe, the tough kid of the school, after Joey's parents accidentally cut his original. When Joey comes over to Rick's apartment, he finds out that Rick's father is abusive and tries to covertly seek intervention, which is accidentally mistaken as being for himself. Oh, yes, the classic. I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah.
No, I really am asking for a friend.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Caitlin and Susie try to make Rick smile. As a woman in the world who has literally been told to smile by a strange man, only once, but it happens a lot to a lot of women.
Yeah.
Like, I so look forward to tearing this to shreds because don't do that. But
sure.
Anyway, Rick, I believe, is the kid who got left back. We met him in episode 1. It was like, oh, yeah, grade 7 again.
Yeah. Is this the tall kid on the basketball team?
No.
That would make sense. But
that is, I believe that's Shane, who we will meet later for reasons.
Yes.
I think I
recall.
He's in we haven't cast him yet. He's just.
Yeah, he's in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rick, I think, and he's kind of short too, which is weird. So, yeah. Well, folks, we would love to know what you think of this episode. Did you try drugs? Did you try a New Zealand zapper?
Yeah.
Did you feel fresh? What is it? Fresh and cool?
Sure.
Minty something? I don't know what it was. Did you feel any of that? Also, were you able to dry swallow pills at this age? Everyone is dry swallowing. I'm very impressed. Yeah. I can't do that.
I was good. I could do it. Yeah.
I mean, I can, but I really don't want to. But let us know what you think. We would love to hear from you. You can reach us a couple different ways. You can send us an email at ysmypodcast@gmail.com. That's YSMY for You Show Me Yours. You can find us on Facebook with the same handle, or you can look on our main feed for links to all of our episodes. In 2026, we are having episodes every week. The first Wednesday of the month, we will do our usual YSMY thing where we show each other movies that we loved before our first date. And all the remaining Wednesdays of the month, we are watching through Degrassi Junior High, all 42 episodes. The next Degrassi episode that we have is Rick's jacket and making him smile.
Season 1, episode 4.
Yes.
And like basically at this point, tune in on a Wednesday. You're going to get something. We're filming these and we're recording these in all sorts of order. So, we will see you when we see you, and it's either going to be Degrassi or a movie, and we know we will force you to enjoy it either way.
Yeah, you'll definitely enjoy it. Well, first one's free.
Yeah. And then after that,
it's $5 each.
You're hooked. You can join the tens of people that are addicted to our podcast.
Don't take our Hawaiian shirts if you don't like it. All right. Well, then we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Never meet your heroes, because so much of this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so lame. This character that I thought was great actually kind of sucks.
Yeah.